War rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. While this and countless other battles rage on, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun. This video is brought to you by the support of our channel members and our FLGS partner, Warpfire Minis. Baron of Dice is the exclusive dice supplier for Season of War. Take a look through their incredible designs or even get your own custom dice made.
Hello and welcome to Season of War. Today we are bringing you another game of Age of Sigmar. My name's Jordan. I am joined by Ryan tonight. And Ryan, this is the first time people are probably seeing your face, but you've obviously been involved with the channel for, we were saying, going on a year now.
Yeah, it's apparently Bring Your Editor to Work Day, and here I am, man. I can't tell you how excited I am to be here. It's awesome.
So you've obviously been doing a ton of work in editing and post-production for a lot of the battle reports and videos and whatnot. So,
yeah.
And you've been in the hobby for decades, but new over the past couple of years to playing more so. So This will be one of your first games of 4th edition. And obviously a bit of a learning game, so that's kind of the approach we're going to take with this, where we're going to be talking through maybe more than typical as we work through things and figure things out. But I mean, that'll also be a good example for players that are coming to Age of Sigmar for the first time in 4th. But it'll be a lot of fun and a lot of action today.
Bringing the Stormcast out, like you said, I've been in the hobby for a long time, and it's just such a perfect excuse to get out onto the table and just learn, play, and with 4th, I can't wait.
But we've got an exciting game here today as you're playing your Stormcast Eternals, and we have the Sons of Behemat facing off against them, which will be a big task to take these guys down. But jumping into things, we are playing the mission of focal points. So there are 5 objectives on the table. You score 1 point for holding 1 objective, 1 point for holding 2 or more, and 1 point for holding more than your opponent. Then you can score a bonus 3 points if you hold both of the home objectives or both of the flank objectives. And then the twist with this mission is if you are the underdog, obviously from the second battle round onwards, you can choose for the center objective to count as a flank objective or home objective to help you with scoring. But that's it for the mission. So Ryan, do you want to talk us through your list?
Yeah, so like I said, I brought the Stormcast today. Very excited to get these on the table. We've got Yndrasta as my general, 1 5-man unit of Liberators. I've got a reinforced unit of Fulminators. I've also got a unit of Prosecutors, and I have a unit of Praetors. I've got 3 units of Vindictors. For my other heroes, I've got the Knight Vexillor, also got the Knight Arcanum, and graciously, you've let me borrow your Lord Vigilant on Gristalker. And for my enhancements today, I've got the Envoy of Heavens on my Knight Vexillor, and that'll let me give out 5-up ward saves to stuff as they die throughout the game. And for the Artifact of Power, I chose Quicksilver Draft on my Lord Vigilant. That's going to give him strike first once per battle. I've also got the Primal Energy Manifestation lore. And for the seasonal rules, I chose Special Assignment on the Fulminators. So that's going to be Anti-Monster +1 Rend, which I think might go a long way in this army. Yeah.
This matchup, that's a pretty good one. But then for me, with the Sons of Behemat, I am actually playing Cadenbrod's Stomp, so the Army of Renown. We obviously have King Broad in here himself, and then with him in his regiment is a Gatebreaker. This Gatebreaker has both the enhancements from the subfaction, which is like the Lucky Hat, and then an ability for him, in addition to another Gatebreaker, will be able to use my 3d6 redeploy thing after charging. So that's 2 units do it. Then I do have another regiment, which is a second Gatebreaker, and he's got the 3 individual Man Crushers in his regiment, which gives me a bit more flexibility to spread out and store objectives and tactics and whatnot. And for my Honor Guard, I am going to give my Gatebreaker the special assignment of anti-infantry. Hopefully it helped me chew through your battle line and scoring units a little faster, because I don't think I'll get the value out of priority targets as much, so we're gonna do that. But as always, it's a pretty simple army over here. Obviously no manifestation lore or anything. And for regiments, I had 2, so I was 2 drops here to your 3, Ryan. So it does give me choice of who goes first, and there's always a balance of wanting to store the tactics and the objectives early. But I think it's also important in this matchup. I don't mind setting myself up for a potential double later in the game. So I did give away first turn, which means we're gonna jump into Stormcast Eternals, turn 1.
Let's do it. All right, so turn 1, my battle tactic is going to be take the flanks. I think the way that this is set up, that'll be perfect. Going straight into my hero phase, I think the first thing I'm going to do here is cast Lightning Blast with my Knight Arcanum. And she's deployed kind of equidistant between the Man Crusher and the Gatebreaker, so being as the Gatebreaker has that ward, I'm going to put it in the Man Crusher. 7.
And I have no wizards here, so I won't be able to unbind it.
So that's D3 damage. So that'll be 3 damage.
All right, I'll take 3.
So that's going to be the end of my hero phase.
And I will spend a command point to do Magical Intervention with King Broad, trying to chant a prayer just to build up some prayer points. And we get 3, and we're just going to bank those points.
Then straight into movement. All right, first off, I'm going to auto-run the Vindictors. That'll put them at 11-inch movement. So that's going to be the end of my movement. Going into shooting, I've got nothing.
But then I will actually spend another command point here for covering fire, and I'm going to use my Gatebreaker to throw a boulder at your prosecutors.
Sounds horrible.
So on a 4 up here, he misses with the 1. So CP well spent.
And I've got nothing in charging as well.
Wary of the might of the Gargants, the Stormcast strategically remain in a defensive position, only venturing close to claim the necessary objectives.
All right, so that is it for my turn, and it was short but sweet. I ended up getting my battle tactic. I moved the Vindictors on that side, got them out. Moved the hero on that side, got him out. Perfect. I'm also going to get hold 1, 2, and more, and I'm going to get the extra 3 for the flanks.
Nice.
Total of 10 for my first turn of 4th. Very excited. Couldn't have gone better.
Yeah, I tried to kill some prosecutors with a rock. Obviously couldn't have taken them down, but might have helped. And I thought about a counter charge, but 9-inch charge, even if I do it, I'm probably not killing those guys to deny the objective anyways, so.
I gotta say, a little bit intimidating staring at all these giants moving up a little bit more, but hopefully I can hold it down a little bit.
Yeah, you did stay far back with a lot of stuff, obviously not wanting to give me easy charges or let me just throw everything in, but hopefully we see a little more action on my turn as we jump into Sons of Behemat, turn 1. Okay, so my battle tactic this turn is going to be attack on 2 fronts. So I have to take control of 2 objectives that I didn't control before, and one of them had to have been controlled by you, so I'll be able to do that. Hopefully, shouldn't be a problem, especially because you took this one. So that's gonna be the tactic for my hero phase. All I have is King Broad's prayer, so he's gonna chant for Power of Behemat. And he's gonna get that with a 6, so it puts me up to 9 points. And I'm actually gonna bank those, so if I get the prayer off next turn, I'll be able to do it on a 10+ and pick 2 of the effects. And sorry, I'd be at 8 points because I would have lost 1 when doing the magical intervention.
Right.
And that is gonna be it for my hero phase.
Speaking of magical intervention, this is a point in time I'm gonna try to cast the Jaws. On an 8.
And with the -1, yeah, it goes off on a 7. All right, and then I'll just get into movement. And I will spend a command point to auto-run my Man Crusher 6 inches, putting him up to 14.
Don't forget you can get access to 4 extra battle reports every month by supporting the channel through our YouTube membership. Hit the join button below the video to learn more.
And that's going to be it for my movement.
And I'm going to redeploy with the prosecutors for 6.
All right, well, that does make that charge harder, but I will get into shooting next, and I have the 2 Gatebreakers, and the first one's gonna throw his rock at your Ravnak's Gnashing Jaws. So on a 3-up, we hit, but we fail to wound. And then the other Gatebreaker is gonna hurl his boulder at the prosecutors. He hits and wounds, rend 3.
I need a 6. And that's a 4.
So you will take 4 damage, which will kill 2 of them. But then I will use Smash It All to Bits with that Gatebreaker as well. And I'm gonna throw some gravestones at that last prosecutor. But I roll a 1 and he's not gonna take any damage at all. So that is it for my shooting, and I'm gonna jump into charges. Obviously not getting into the prosecutors now likely, but the 1 Man Crusher is gonna try and charge your Vindictors, and he'll get in with a 10. And at the start of combat, he is going to try and stuff one of your Vindictors in his bag on a 4-up. No, he fails to do it.
All right, and with that charge, I get hold the shield wall. So I'm gonna roll a dice on a 4-up. We get strike first. And that's a 3.
But we will go into combat there first, and I'll use all out attack.
And I think this is an appropriate time to use all out defense.
The Vindictors save all incoming damage, then fight back into the Man-Crusher and deal a whopping 8 damage. While they don't deal as much damage as they would have liked, the Sons of Behemat claim the center of the battlefield, using their intimidating presence to unnerve their foe.
So Sons of Behemat turn 1 was on the scoreboard as effective as I could have hoped for. I'll take control of the 2 flanked objectives to get the bonus 3 points, and I hold 4 of them here for more, so 6 points on primary, and I did complete my battle tactic by taking 2 objectives, one of which you controlled. I would have similarly loved to do take the flanks here, but you actually positioned so I couldn't get outside of my territory with either Man Crusher, because you're on that line keeping me from even towing onto it. So I was kind of forced to do a different one, but thankfully this one was available with your prosecutors coming up to take this objective, though I guess I would have even taken control of this one from you, so another good option. And I guess the only combat here was over there with the Vindictors, and it really did not go my way. Again, Guardians are a little swingy, especially the Man Crushers. But even with all an attack, I just hoped to kill 2 or 3. Could have easily stuffed one in the bag, 50% chance, but didn't pan out. And you have a nasty manifestation in front of your army now as well.
Losing 2 prosecutors, completely expected that to happen. Honestly, I expected to lose all 3. So having 1 left, I'm happy. I expected to lose all those Vindictors, 100%. And to have all 5 of them left, I don't know how it happened, but...
And they dealt a pretty whopping 8 damage back, so... yeah, pretty good, but that does lead us into priority for round 2.
Let's go. That's a 1.
That's a 2, which is enough to win it, which I'd actually have preferred you to, because we both kind of are in defensive positions here, so we are both kind of hoping for our opponent to take the first move. But here you could have forced me to go and I'd still get to do a tactic. But here I think I'm gonna have to give away the turn so I can store more later. And we'll jump into Stormcast Eternals, turn 2.
So this turn for my battle tactic, I'm going to go for attack on 2 fronts. So I need to fight with 2 units and have no units destroyed.
Ryan meant do not waver, but he's new here, so we'll let it slide. This time.
And into my hero phase, I'm going to cast Lightning Blast again with my Net Arcanum. And again, we're going to go into that same Man Crusher. And that doesn't go off. And that's it for my hero phase, so I'm going to go straight into movement. I'm going to auto-run the Praetors as well. All right, and I think that's going to be it for my movement. And into shooting, still just out of range here.
And I will go for covering fire with my Gatebreaker in the center this time. The closest unit is the Liberators. So he's gonna try and throw a rock at them on a 4-up. He fails.
All right, then I guess we'll go straight into charges. And then charging with Ravanax Gnashing Jaws for a 4. And he's going nowhere.
And because of that, I will actually spend 2 CP here to countercharge with my Gatebreaker. And we're gonna go 3 inches and fail.
Oof.
2 CP, not well spent.
All right, and that's it for charges. All right, then we'll go straight into combat.
And here I will have a few Man Crushers trying to stuff guys in their bags. So we'll start off on the right side with the Vindictors. We fail, only down to 3. This guy is going to do it to the other unit of Vindictors on the left. We get it, so he's just stuffed 1 in his bag. And then the other Man Crusher obviously can't stuff your hero in his bag.
All right, so I'm gonna start combat with the Liberators and I'm gonna use all attack.
The Liberators deal 8 damage to the Man Crusher, leaving him alive with 1 wound left. Then the Man Crusher retaliates and kills 2 Vindictors. The unit of Vindictors on the eastern flank then fight next and deal 5 damage, taking down the Man Crusher.
So we'll have to roll off for Timber.
4.
You get it, which means he's not falling on your guys.
Back on the western flank, another Man Crusher attacks the Praetors and kills 1. Then the 2 Vindictors manage to squeak 1 wound through and kill a Man Crusher.
but we do have to make a timber roll. That's a 3.
That's a 2.
So I'm gonna land him on your 2 units here, and to the Vindictors will suffer 2 mortal wounds, and the Liberators will suffer 3.
The Lord Vigilant deals 8 damage to the Man-Crusher, and the Praetors finish him off.
And that's gonna be another timber roll.
Alrighty.
That's a 4 to your 6.
That's a 6.
Yeah, which maybe not the best idea to tag those Praetors.
Focusing their efforts on the smaller of their foes, the Stormcast Eternals reclaim an objective and bolster their position, but they may just have woken this sleeping giant.
Alright, and that's going to be my turn. I, again, could not have asked that really to go better. Almost lost those Vindictors. If that last one would have gone down, that would have been my battle tactic, but luckily it's stuck around, and that'll be 4 points for the battle tactic. I also hold 1 and hold 2, but not more. You putting that Gatebreaker a little bit just into that center, taking that objective, took that from me, but I still score 6 points.
Yep. Big thing is actually the Manifestation, Ravagnax not making it in. I wanted to countercharge and kill it and actually move up the board, but I'm just happy that I didn't take damage from it because it can do quite a bit. And for a free unit that you don't mind getting killed, I didn't want to start taking unnecessary wounds, so I'm very lucky there.
And although I haven't played a lot in 4th, I've definitely seen a lot of 4th editing, and that is one thing that we've seen so much is these manifestations for free units just absolutely demoing battlefields. And it's unfortunate it didn't get in, but I am really excited to see what it can do on my next turn if it can stick around.
Nice. Well, guess that's it for the turn. You'll be up to 16, and we can head into Sons of Behemat, turn 2. All right, I think battle tactics are going to start getting a little harder for me with my Man-Crushers all going down, but I'm going to go for attack on 2 fronts. So I have to fight with 2 of my units and have none slain. With a big pool of wounds on these guys, it should be pretty doable.
Jordan also meant do not waver, but isn't new and has no excuse. Do it again and you're fired.
And King Broad is going to try and chant for Power of Behemat, which he'll get off with a 6, putting me to 14 points, which is more than 10, so he'll get to pick 2 of the effects of the prayer. So I'm going to choose Shatter the Mountain for +2 movement for everything, as well as Pummel all to dust to give an extra attack to all the main weapons of each of them. And that's going to be it for my hero phase. So into movement. And that's it for my movement. So into shooting, I'm gonna go with his first Gatebreaker and put all his attacks into your Liberators. So hitting on a 3, we do, and it wounds at Rend 3 here.
I'm gonna need a 6 for this, and that's a 6.
Oh no. We will then use Smash It All to Bits with him and try to throw terrain at them as well. So on a 3 up, nope, that's a 1. Then the other Gatebreaker is gonna hurl his boulder at your Vindictors, and it'll be Rend 3 against them.
I need a 6 for this too. Let's see, come on Stormcast dice. And that's a 6!
Oh God. All right, well, the shooting phase definitely didn't go to plan. So then into charges, we're gonna start with this Gatebreaker on the left, and he'll get a 6. And then in the charge phase, the far Gatebreaker is going to use the Wrath of Broad Rampage to be able to move 3d6 inches. He rolls a 12, but I'm actually not going to move him here. The reason I did that is because I'm then able to trigger with the heroic trait for this Gatebreaker to use that same Rampage, even though he's already used a Rampage this turn, which was throwing the terrain. And that's a once per game ability from his heroic trait. And this one's gonna move 15.
Ooh.
So that was a nice little trick to take me the objective without having to do power through or something later. And then King Broad is gonna use one of the rampages from the Allegiance, which is double stomp. So on a 3 up, I fail. But he could have gotten extra attacks for his stomps.
These guys have more tricks than I expected.
Yes, lots of stuff with the rampages that they can do. And I don't have any combat phase abilities here that I'm going to use.
All right, and then after being charged, my lone Vindictor is going to roll for Hold the Shield Wall. And he fails it, but on a 4 up, he would have gotten strike first.
Could have been big. But then I think the most deadly thing I'm in combat with is actually the manifestation. So I'm gonna fight with King Broad first. And I will have an extra attack here because of the prayer.
King Broad deals 15 damage and clears the gnashing jaws. Then the Lone Vindictor manages to deal 3 wounds to the Mega Gargant. Next, the Gatebreaker in the north fights next and kills the last Lonely Prosecutor. The other Gatebreaker uses all-out attack and deals 12 damage to the Liberators through all-out defense, wiping them out as well as the Lone Vindictor. With true carnage finally met, the Sons of Behemat push into enemy territory, crushing and destroying everything in their path.
All right, so Sons of Behemat, after losing all our man crushers, we answered, and similarly, it feels like just killed a lot of your chaff units, not necessarily your bigger stuff, but we did a good job of it. I kind of put the pressure on across the board, though I'm a little more spread out than I would have liked. But the one Gatebreaker putting pressure up on the right flank is putting you in a pickle of kind of almost having too many targets, and he's not on an objective, although he is in your face. So it's like you kind of have the pressure to deal with him, but you're not taking out something on an objective if you do. So just trying to put problems in your face, Ryan, right now, and see how you want to answer. But first, counting out the turn, I will store hold 1, hold 2, hold more. And because I did get onto this objective with the different rampages, I will score the extra 3 points, so that will be 6 on primary, and I do complete my battle tactic having fought with 2 units and having nothing slain. So a good 10-point turn here. It does put me up 4 points right now, heading into priority for round 3.
It's not looking great, a little scary.
And I will win that with a 3. But Ryan, again here, I think I'm in an all right position. Got some challenges for you to deal with, as I mentioned, and I want to still be able to store points, store my battle tactics to continue building the lead or holding on to this advantage I have now. And while you might be able to take down one of my Mega Guardians, I'm going to give you the turn, and we will jump into Stormcast turn 3.
All right, top of 3, I'm going to do take their land as my battle tactic. So I'm going to choose this terrain feature over here, and I'm going to have to take control of it this turn. And since I'm the underdog this round, I could choose to change the center objective to a home or a flank. I'm actually going to just leave it the way that it is for now because I have a plan.
All right.
All right, so going to my hero phase, I'm going to cast Thundershock at this close Gatebreaker here. And we get it, so his attacks are going to suffer -1 to wound. And that's the end of my hero phase.
And it will spend a command point to, again, use Magical Intervention and chant with King Broad to try and build up some prayer points. And we get 3 because of the -1.
All right, cool. And I'm just going to go into movement. And to start off movement, I was hoping to save this just in case I needed it with the Fulminators, but I think it might be better now. I'm going to use my once per battle Heaven Sent and grab half the unit of Liberators and drop them back onto the board. Next, I'm going to spend a command point to auto-run the Lord Vigilant.
Enjoying the battle? Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and share it with your friends.
All
right, and that's going to be it for my movement phase.
I am going to spend a command point here because I'm worried my Gatebreaker isn't going to have much to do next turn. So I'm going to redeploy him and see how far he gets. That's cocked. That's cocked again. A 2. Only a 2.
All right, I'm going to start shooting with Yndrasta. Finally. 1 attack, 3s. And it misses. Next, I'll shoot with the Fulminators. So that's 1 at Ren 2.
So I'll be on 6s. It goes through.
For D3, just for 2. Okay, into charging, I guess I will start with the Fulminators first. Okay, starting off combat, I don't have any combat abilities.
Then I will use the double stomp rampage from King Broad Stomp. I get it off and I'll get 4 extra attacks on this stomp.
The Fulminators use all-out attack while the Gatebreaker uses all-out defense, but they still deal an impressive 18 damage. The Gatebreaker then attacks Yndrasta through all-out defense and only deals 2 damage. Indrasta fights next and deals 12 damage to the Gargant, who survives with just 3 wounds left. Falling just short of felling a Mega Gargant, the Stormcast Eternals finally get into the action, but they'll still have a hard task reclaiming the battlefield.
All right, and that's my turn. Counting it out, I've got hold 1, hold 2, hold more for 3. I've got the extra 3 for the home objectives, and I did complete my battle tactic with the Liberators coming down within 3 of that terrain feature. So a full 10, happy about that. Not so happy about that Gatebreaker still being alive.
Yes, he didn't do much back, but he is there.
And it's not what he did this turn that I'm so worried about as what's coming next.
He's got another, it gives him another attack, right?
Exactly.
On my turn.
Yeah, we were talking off camera. There was a couple of things that I could have done. There may be D3 mortals from the wizard instead of the wounds, but it was a bit of a trade-off, and you kind of just never know how that's going to pan out. I still think it was probably the right decision, but just having him left on 3 wounds, that little bit more could have made all the difference, so I guess we'll never know, but...
Blame Andrasta for missing with her spear the first time she gets to throw it.
I know, the first time, but it is what it is. Again, 10 points, I'm happy.
Yeah, that'll send us into Sons of Behemat, turn 3. Okay, this turn my battle tactic is going to be take their land, and I'm going to choose this little terrain piece over here, and I'll have to take control of it this turn. Then in the hero phase, King Broad is going to chant his prayer, and he'll get a 4, so that'll put me up to 7 points. And I will spend that actually to heal all of my Mega Gardens D3. So my Gatebreaker over here will heal 1, and my extremely wounded guy will heal 2. So I now have 5 wounds left. So that is it for my hero phase.
I am going to use Magical Intervention and try to get you with the Lightning Blast. Even though you did the heal, I still want him as low as possible. So we're going to get it off with a 6. D3 mortals for 1.
Back to 4 health left, and then into movement. And it was a pretty quick movement phase, and then shooting. The Gatebreaker is going to actually hurl his boulder at the Praetors and miss. But he is going to use the Rampage to again try to hurl some terrain at them, which we also fail. So then it's just charges, and we'll go with King Broad. For a 3 is going to be just enough. And he's going to do the double stomp for his Rampage and get 5 extra stomp attacks. And I could also double stomp with my other Gatebreaker in combat, but I'm going to immediately go with him and use the Pulverizing Strike. But we are going to put the Pulverizing Strike into the Fulminators. Looking for a 4+ here. We fail it on a 1. Otherwise, it would have been 46 mortal wounds.
The Liberators then target King Broad and deal 2 damage, but are then completely wiped out when he retaliates. Lastly, the Fulminators fight and finish off the Gatebreaker.
So let's roll for Timber. A 1.
A 6.
All right, not falling on you.
Losing the first of their megas, the Sons of Behemat are undaunted, holding their ground and refusing to back down.
Okay, so my turn 3 for Sons of Behemat pretty much went as expected. King Broad was pretty likely to kill those guys. I knew that Gatebreaker was going down. I hoped to get his 46 mortal wounds through, because potentially lifting 2 Fulminators would have been amazing. Really reduce your output for the rest of the game, and because you've protected that unit so much for so long, it's running amok now, and I just got to do as much as I can. So there was a world in which the Gatebreaker could have gone in over there, but again, I just got to stay away from that stuff. So that's why I charged, pile in, tried to keep my distance as much as possible. I do score really well this turn though. Getting hold 1, hold 2, and hold more for the objectives, holding the 3 across the middle. And that does also mean I control the 2 flank objectives, giving me 6 on primary, and I'm close enough to this terrain to complete my battle tactic. So that will be a 10-point turn, keeping me ahead those 4 critical points, which is key, and that's why I keep giving away the turn so I can keep scoring and keep that lead up. So there's a lot in the balance as we head into round 4, Ryan. Let's go into priority.
All right.
That's a 6.
That's a 6.
You win ties, so you get choice.
I think in this case, I am going to take the turn I don't think I'm going to get a whole lot done in terms of damage, but I would really love to kind of reset up the back of this board and put these Fulminators back in a position where they might be able to make a charge at some point and get the benefits of that.
All right, so we'll go into Stormcast, turn 4.
All right, for my battle tactic this round, I'm going to take Reclaim the Realms. So I'm just going to have 1 unit in each quarter of the battlefield, wholly outside of 6 of any enemy unit. All right, going into the hero phase, I'm going to try to cast Ravanax's Gnashing Jaws. And we fail it on a 6.
Then I will spend a command point with Broad for magical intervention again, trying to chant. For 3, we'll get 2 extra prayer points. Just make it a little more reliable next turn.
Okay, and we'll just go into my movement phase. I'm going to auto-run the Fulminators. And that's going to be the end of my movement.
I was thinking about redeploying King Broad, but I'm not going to. I could get him in a safer position. I don't think, he won't go down this turn, but I just don't want to give up the objectives, so he's going to stay where he is.
So, into shooting. So I'm going to shoot with Yndrasta into King Broad. And it fails. She misses.
Again.
Then we'll just go into charges. And that's it for my charges.
All right, King Broad is going to try and use the double stomp again. And we get it off for 4 extra stomp attacks.
All right, as terrifying as that is, I'm going to start with Yndrasta and just go straight into King Broad.
And I'm going to use all out defense.
Yndrasta deals 9 damage to King Broad, who splits his own attacks, dealing 5 damage to Yndrasta through all-out defense and 6 damage to the Vindictors. Finally, the Vindictors fight, but they aren't able to do any damage. Engaging the King of Giants, the Stormcast Eternals hold their own against the Gargant, but still have much more left to do to salvage this engagement.
All right, and that's going to be my turn. I wish I would have gotten a little bit more, not quite a perfect turn, but I'm going to score 1 and 2, not hold more. I'm going to get the extra 3 points for the home objectives, and I am going to score my battle tactic of Reclaim the Realms just for having the quarters of the board. So not bad at 9 points.
Yep, and you're tying up King Broad. Only, I got 11 damage on him, so that's a quarter of his health, and I'm sad Yndrasta didn't go down. I tried to split attacks so that I could be out of combat. Getting scary with the Fulminator so close.
And that's the plan.
We're going to do our best and jump into Sons of Behemat, turn 4. So my battle tactic here is going to be Slay the Entourage. And I'm going to go for Yndrasta herself. She's your general, so I'm going to try and finish her off. Just 1 wound left, so should be able to do it. Then King Broad is going to try and chant his prayer. He gets a 5. That's going to go off with a 7. And I'm going to do the extra attack for both of the Guardian's main weapons. And that's it for my hero phase.
Okay, and I'm going to spend a command point and try and cast Ravanax's Gnashing Jaws again. And that'll cast on a 9.
Then it's just into movement.
I'm going to try redeploy with the CP on the Fulminators, see if I can back them up a little bit, get them in a safer range from that Gatebreaker. For a 2.
All right, let's get into shooting then. I'm going to go with the Gatebreaker into Yndrasta. So his Hurled Boulder misses. He is going to use the Rampage, though, to try and throw the terrain at her. We finally get it off, and that's going to deal 6 mortal wounds to her.
My ward save. And that's not going to do it.
Then it's just going to be charges, and with the Gatebreaker, we get a 6, which is not enough to get into the Fulminators. So I'm going to spend a command point to reroll that with Forward to Victory. Into a 9.
That'll do it.
And the Gatebreaker can't use another Rampage, but King Broad will try and get the extra stomp attacks for 5 extra. I will, though, in combat, go with the Gatebreaker first and use all-out attack and put all his attacks into the Fulminators.
And I'm going to spend my last CP for all-out defense.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
When the Gatebreaker attacks, he deals 9 damage to the Fulminators. Then the Vindictors deal 2 damage to King Broad. King Broad then crushes the Vindictors when he retaliates, and the Fulminators deal 18 damage to the Gatebreaker. With much blood spilled for both forces, the Sons of Behemat hope they did enough to cripple the enemy and must try to hold on to their slim advantage.
So Sons of Behemat, turn 4 was good on the scoreboard. We killed Yndrasta, we killed the Vindictors. I got into the Fulminators, but I just didn't do as much as I hoped. I really thought I would take 2 of them down at least and not take as much damage back, but I took 18 damage back there from them, and that's starting to get a little scary. I really want to be in a position where I can, again, score 7 points to maintain my lead and guarantee a win next turn. But maybe things are a little more interesting now that I went in and didn't do enough than they might have been otherwise. But I also didn't want to leave them to be free on the charge. You win priority and you just wipe a mega straight up. So even if you do win it, I'm at least holding you back there. King Broad's out of combat right now, so yeah, different things could happen, but it's going to be dicey in this final round here. So priority for round 5.
Priority, it's a big one.
That's a 5.
That's a 3.
Okay, so I actually don't think I would have a tactic round 5 if I was going second. Seize the centers on the table, but so much could change that it's just not possible if I go second. So I'm actually going to take the turn here, Ryan, and I should be able to score the 6 points for primary, which would guarantee at least a tie, but we'll find out and jump into Sons of Behemat, turn 5. So again, I can't do a tactic here, but I'm going to go for King Broad's Prayer, and a 4 is not going to be enough, so he'll bank those points, but probably won't be relevant this game. And then I'm just going to move King Broad up real quick, and I will use his ability to throw terrain, trying to throw some gravestones at you. He's going to fail it. We got it off at least once this game, though.
Actually, I would have, after your movement, done redeploy with this unit of Vindictors here.
Looking for 5 up.
And that's a 6.
All right, well, I guess the tie is not a guarantee anymore, because that's going to cost me a point, but let's get into charges. We'll go with King Broad. For an 8, he's in. And because he already did the rampage with shooting, I can't use the 1 to do the 3d6 move here. The Daybreaker will use the stomp rampage though, but he'll fail it. So for combat, I will go with King Broad first. And we'll use all-out attack.
And I may as well all-out defense, see if I can hold on just a little bit longer.
So the obelisk, all miss. Then the stomps, we get 1. For Ren 2,
4s, and that's a 4.
all right, Death Grip, we miss. So absolutely 0 damage from King Broad this turn.
Fulminators are going into the Gatebreaker.
And he will use all-out defense because I need him to live here.
So we'll start with the Stormstrike Glaive. That'll be 5 at Ren 1.
Save 2, take 6 damage.
And then Dracoth's Claws and Fangs. That'll be 4 at Ren 2.
And 3 of those go through for another 6 damage, leaving me on 32 of 35 wounds taken.
Fair enough. We did our best. We did our best.
I will then get to fight back, thankfully, but I will be bracketed, and because of that, I might as well go for the Pulverizing Strike here on a 4 up. We get a 3.
Oh.
And well, it doesn't look great with all that just happened. I am going to spend a command point here with King Broad because he is within 10 inches and able to power through because he charged and reclaim this objective for me. And the Fulminators will take D3 mortals for just 1. Okay, so Sons of Behemat, turn 5, my last turn of the game, is nearly disastrous. Could have gone very badly here. Both you got a big redeploy onto this objective, which I was then scrambling, and in hindsight, I had done it out of sequence, but I'd already committed to the shooting ability, and It meant it couldn't do the 3d6 move rampage to like redeploy onto this objective. I did no damage to the fulminators effectively in combat, one on the power through, but thankfully I had the movement with power through to like just clear my other Gatebreaker's base and get onto the objective, which doesn't put me in a great spot. That Gatebreaker only has 3 wounds left, and that means I'm giving up this objective pretty easily, though you should have, I guess, a good route to hold more anyways. So I score my 6 points here, and Ryan, I'm just going to be hanging on as we go into the final turn of the game and Stormcast Eternals, turn 5.
Let's do it. Coming into my turn though, I'm going to choose Slay the Entourage as my battle tactic, and all I have to do is put 3 wounds on that Gatebreaker, and we tie. And that's the best I can do. It's the best I can hope for. Everything has gone super well with these dice so far, knock on wood. Let's see. Let's just roll it out. To help as much as possible, I'm going to do all-out attack.
And I'm, of course, going to go for all-out defense.
So we'll start with the Stormstrike Glaive. So that'll be 7 at Ren 1.
Oh, no. And we take 4, and you're going to kill him.
And that's the tie. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd still be able to move and claim the objectives.
But you already, with just that, you already control 3 of them. So
Yeah.
that's hold 1, hold 2, hold more there. And you have both of the home objectives still, so.
That's the full 10.
Yes, sir. And again, nearly a catastrophic blunder that turn 5 for Sons of Behemat, or even turn 4 and turn 5 of dropping that point could have literally cost me the win. And well, we came out of it with a tie. Definitely better than losing it at the last moment.
I have to say, from somebody who doesn't play, this has been absolutely wild. The things that you've got to pay attention to and the things that you've got to try and forward think, and just the little movements, like a misstep that I made, opened up this whole other side for you, and being able to communicate that and talk about it. And it's amazing what high-level competitive players really get through in their mind, and the steps they've got to take. And it's, I watch it cutting, but to actually play it is wild, man. That was so cool.
Yeah, it was a blast. Obviously, like you said, we've been working through a lot of stuff and talking very openly about things. But yeah, here again, in those final moments, I thought I was gonna be able to clinch the win. As I said, when I took the turn, I had 2 battle tactics that I could have done on top of turn, but I didn't have faith I could have done either of those at the bottom of the turn.
Yeah, I mean, and when you explained it, you didn't really have too much of a choice there. Don't want to risk it. The Fulminators hit hard.
Yes.
Like they really do. Doing 18 wounds in 1 round of combat.
On my turn, yeah,
that was
not even charging.
Beginner's luck with these Stormcast dice. I was loving them. Very happy. And I mean, for what it's worth, it was kind of Jordan versus Jordan. Like you said, we talked very openly about it, and I'm very glad because I am, again, super new, and this would have been very short otherwise. I have played a couple of times, but like not like this. This is just, it's a whole different level, it's a whole different game, and like, thank you so much again for having me out to play, man.
Yeah, it's been a blast, and again, a lot overdue. You've been working so hard on the battle reports. Obviously, always ready to play a game, and I'm sure we'll give you, a little more perspective or new perspective as we head into 4th.
And we had talked so much leading up to it that like for 4th, it was such an exciting time, and again, to see it play out is just, it's really cool.
And a great highlight of the edition. Obviously, it was a really good game, very close. And, we saw a little bit of everything, right? The sacrifice of taking priority and winning a double was the difference between a tie and me just clinching a win because I won the priority roll, right?
Yeah.
So it was very cool to see everything play out. Obviously, low magic in this one is always kind of nice for introductory games of like not having too much going on, too much crazy stuff. And while you did have like a lot of the box set stuff from actually this edition and last edition, it held up, it did its job. You had the Fulminators in here as like a single big hammer, but everything else was still just running around screening, scoring points, and completing battle tactics. And
having the Vindictors survive the way they did in that first round, completely unexpected. I still have a unit of 5 left, also completely unexpected. I figured like as that kind of chaff that they were gonna be the first to just be gone.
I've got to say here, well, he didn't do much besides kill 1 man crusher. One of the MVPs has got to be the Lord Vigilant, because he did so much for you story-wise, the battle tactic turn 1, and then just being fast enough to come over here and take the home objective. That scored you like what, 9 points throughout the game, having taken this one.
And he was the one who scored the other battle tactic for the quarters.
Yep, exactly. That's where sometimes speed is just the most important part of the game.
Listening to you guys talk about mobility and how important it is, it was a perfect kind of showing of exactly how important it is. Having that, like you said, he didn't do a lot in terms of damage, but he did so much on the scoreboard. Completely worth it.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Again, exciting to see everything. The Prosecutors are the maybe only unit that didn't really do a whole lot, but even that scored 3 points off turn 1 and made a big redeploy to stay around and screen your other stuff out. So actually they, 440 points, they even did a great job as well.
Yeah.
But I think, Ryan, we can wrap things up there. It was a great game again. Guys, we appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed this battle report as well. Don't forget, if you want extra content, you can check out our channel membership on YouTube for an extra battle report every week. But no matter what, we thank you so much for your support, and we look forward to seeing you in another video.
See you again soon, guys.